with what I was talking about, and I was talking about the things you can control versus the things that you can't control. And it's important to focus on those things that you do have control over. Otherwise, you end up just feeling like you're in a state where you can't make things happen. And so I said the acronym DHS ROD. So you have, and this is kind of what I'm looking at as the formula for focused flexibility. An easy way to remember it. When you speak with letters like that, acronyms, and you can put it in a place where you'll remember it, it doesn't even have to really make sense. Like this has nothing to do with the DHS, but you know, who's going to forget DHS? And ROD is like easy to remember too. But when you think of decisions, habit, and state, that's DHS. So you have the ability to make decisions every day. You have the ability to form new habits that you can do every day, every moment. And you can have control over your state. That's your choice of how you're going to act in this day. So that would be having a state of gratitude, having a state of happiness, joy, thanksgiving, all of these things. Um, Habits could be just your daily grind. What do you do? Like how do you do things that put you in a position to win? A lot of people they find themselves not winning because they don't have the right mindset. Now with the rod, the results, we're built in a society on results. So like if you're playing a poker game and you win a hand, like you get first place in a competition or you win a poker challenge or you win the World Series of Poker, you're automatically going to be viewed as the outcome, the results was good. And so it becomes this whole results, outcome, and destinations becomes kind of like the measuring rod, if you will, about what really matters. Like someone who has success in life, like they have a nice home, a nice car, or they seem to have a good job, you know, you would say their outcome, they've won. And a lot of people, a happy relationship, a lot of people, they work for that. They work for they work for those things where they can have this happiness, they can have this outcome, and this results, and this destination becomes the proof in the pudding, so to speak, that we made it. We did what we needed to do, and this is proof that we did it. Versus on the front side, these are the things that we can control. These are the things that actually go, like a poker hand, you're not always going to win. You're not always going to win in life. As a company, it might have a bad quarter, but if you're making good decisions and you're innovating and you're building and you're investing in the future of the company, sometimes you're going to have a bad quarter. Sometimes you're going to have a bad outcome. Doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. So it's like we become so results driven, we become so proof is in the pudding driven that we miss the first part of it, that the area that you can be focused. And this is where focused flexibility as a philosophy and mindset comes into play. One, you're focused, laser focused on those things that you have control over. And that's your decisions, your habits, and your state. You always have the ability to control your decisions. Like if I make a decision today to be happy, that's a decision, right? If I make a decision to wake up early, that's a decision, right? If I make a habit to exercise and to do like even a recording like I'm doing right now, that's a habit or a decision, right? If I choose to have a state of happiness, joy, peace, that's a decision and a state, right? So as you do that, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You're playing the game in the proper way, consistently, and oftentimes you will win. Oftentimes you will have a good result and an outcome, but you're flexible with the results. You're flexible with the outcome. You're flexible with what comes out in the end. You're not trying to pigeonhole yourself into an outcome. You're not trying to pigeonhole yourself into a result. You're not trying to pigeonhole yourself into a destination that if you get this, you'll have this happiness, or if I get this perfect relationship, I'll finally be happy one day. No, that's not how it works. You're focusing on the things that you have control over, and when you focus on those things you have control over, everything else kind of comes into play. So for example, today I'm out here, I'm in nature. This is a decision I'm making. This has become kind of a habit I'm making. It's a state that I have. I'm out here, I got this book by Eric Wall, I just finished it. It's called Unthink, and it was an excellent book, all on being different and going against the grain. Had a lot of real interesting points in it, but you know, these are decisions I can make. It doesn't mean that I'm going to win in life. It doesn't mean that everything's going to turn out. I'm recording this video. It doesn't mean that a lot of people are going to view it. That doesn't matter. By doing the process and just going through the motions, I'm reinforcing decisions, habits, and state, and I'm laser focused on decisions, habits, and states. Those are things I can actually do something about. And then I'm super flexible on results, outcome, destination. Because the reality is, you can have happiness in a whole bunch of variety of results, outcome, and destination. I think, and I've been thinking lately about Nelson Mandela. He was, in Epictetus was another one. They were in prison, they were locked down. Joseph is another one. He was a slave. He was in the state, but he found a way to have positivity. They found a way to have gratitude and gratefulness and forgiveness. And Epictetus used the term, he said, he's free. Even though he's in chains, no one can chain his freedom of decision, his freedom of choice. And we have this every day. We have the ability to choose to be free. And when you choose to be free, and you choose that decision, and you work on your decisions, habits, and state, things that you can control, you'll find yourself happy in whatever the result is. And a lot of times I think we pigeonhole ourselves because we get this idealized view of the future, or we have envy of someone else's life, relationship, success, and then we kind of don't have happiness because we're working towards that. I'll be happy this day when this happens. And this is the state of many people. It doesn't have to be that way. You really don't have to have that type of way of thinking and that mind frame. And so these are just a few thoughts I had today as I'm out here in nature making decisions, habits, and state. These are all things that I'm learning are very important, and the results, outcome, and destination are important in one regard, and when you have the first three in order, you will often get a good result in the end. But you shouldn't base that as your condition that you're going to have the other ones in place. You got to have laser focus on the things you can control, super flexibility on the things you can't control. When you learn that dichotomy, when you learn how to do that and be super focused in this area, laser focused, super flexible, then you're going to understand the concept and the philosophy, I like to call it, of focused flexibility. This is Matt Cannon with my thoughts of the day, signing out.